Recorded Books presents an unabridged recording of Nanjing Requiem by Ha Jin, narrated by Angela Lin and directed by Drew Sussman.
Part 1. The Fall of the Capital. Finally, Fan began to talk. For a whole evening we sat in the dining room listening to the boy. He said, "That afternoon, when Principal Vautrin told me to tell Mr. Raba about the random arrests in our camp, I ran to the Safety Zone Committee's headquarters. As I was reaching that house, 2 Japanese soldiers stopped me, one pointing his bayonet at my tummy and the other sticking his gun against my back. They ripped off my Red Cross armband and hit me in the face with their fists. Then they took me away to White Cloud Shrine. There's a pond inside the temple, and a lot of carp and bass lived in the water. The monks were all gone except for 2 old ones who'd been shot dead and dumped into a latrine. The Japanese wanted to catch the fish but didn't have a net. An officer emptied his pistol into the pond but didn't hit any fish. Then another one began throwing grenades into the water. In a flash, big bass and carp surfaced, all knocked out and belly up. The Japs poked us 4 Chinese with bayonets and ordered us to undress and get into the water to bring out the fish. I couldn't swim and was scared, but I had to jump into the pond. The water was freezing cold. Luckily, it was just waist deep. We brought all the half-dead fish to the bank, and the Japanese smashed their heads with rifle butts, strung them through the gills with hemp ropes, and tied them to shoulder poles. Together we carried the fish to their billets. They were large fish, each weighing at least 15 pounds. The soldiers had fried fish for dinner but didn't give us anything to eat. Instead, they made us pick up horse droppings left by their cavalry with our bare hands. At dusk, they took us to an ammo dump to load a truck. More Chinese were there working for them, 11 in total. We carried boxes of bullets onto the truck. When the loading was done, 3 fellows and me were ordered to go with the truck to Xiaguan. I was shocked to see so many houses burned down in that area. Lots of buildings were still burning, and the flames snapped and howled like a rushing wind. The electric poles along the way were blazing like huge torches. Only the Yangtze Hotel and the church stood undamaged. We stopped at a little slope and unloaded the truck. Near the riverbank, a large crowd had gathered, more than 1,000 people. Some of them were Chinese soldiers and some were civilians, including women and kids. A couple of men in the crowd raised white flags, and a white sheet was dangling from a tree. Beyond the people, 3 tanks with their turrets like large upside-down basins were standing on the embankment, their guns pointing at the crowd. Near us, some Japanese soldiers were sitting around a battle flag planted in the ground, drinking rice wine from a large keg wrapped in straw matting. An officer came over and barked out some orders, but the soldiers at the heavy machine guns did nothing and just looked at one another. The officer got furious. He drew his sword and hit a soldier with the back of it. Thwack! 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 Then his eyes fell on us Chinese coolies squatting close by. Raising his sword, he gave a loud cry, charged at the tallest one among us, and slashed off his head. 2 squirts of blood shot into the air more than 3 feet high, and the man fell over without a whimper. We all dropped to our knees and banged our heads on the ground, begging for mercy. I peed my pants. The soldiers at the machine guns were flabbergasted. Then one of the guns began firing and the other 2 followed. In a flash, the machine guns posted at other spots started shooting too. So did the tanks. The crowd was swirling around, crying and falling, but the people were trapped. Every bullet cut down several of them. In less than 10 minutes, they were all mowed down. Then groups of soldiers carrying fixed bayonets went over.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?